Hey everybody, in this Q&A video, we're talking about skin laxity and cellulite as you age. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Melanie from Female Fitness Systems, and on this channel, we talk about fitness, nutrition, and longevity. And I'm hoping to make these Q&A episodes a regular feature here on this channel. So if you have questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments of this video, or you can pop over to my website, femalefitnesssystems.com, and drop me an email, and I may answer your questions here on YouTube. Today's question comes from one of my online clients. So Sumer asks, what are your tips for women experiencing skin laxity and cellulite as they age? So I talked to Sumer about this question before filming this video, and she said it felt like it almost happened overnight for her, that her skin just looked more saggy, and I can totally relate to that. I feel the exact same. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm noticing my neck has loose skin. I'm definitely seeing more sagginess in my face, and my elbows are a real problem area for me. So Sumer, I totally feel your pain. I'm not a skin expert, so I'm not gonna go into things like Botox and fillers and all the other possible treatments you can have. But what we'll do here in this video is talk about the causes of skin laxity and cellulite. They're actually very similar in what causes them, and I'll give you some of my practical diet and exercise tips for dealing with them. And just to preface it, unfortunately, I feel like there's not a lot we can do about skin sagginess, but there is quite a bit we can do about cellulite. So stick around until the end of the video, where I'll get more into some of the exercise recommendations for cellulite. The first thing you need to think about when it comes to skin aging and even cellulite is that it happens from the inside. So you have to think about diet, lifestyle, and genetics, but it also has to do with what's going on outside your body as well. So your sun exposure over your lifetime and the pollution that you've been exposed to. But let's get more into the specific causes of these things. So as I mentioned, they're very similar in what causes them, and let's talk first about genetics. So genetics plays a huge role in both skin laxity and cellulite. For example, if you come from a family that's a bit leaner, and especially if they're leaner looking in the face, you'll have less fat overall in your face, which means that you may see more sagginess compared to a friend who comes from a family that has rounder faces, because the amount of fat in your face influences how your face ages, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Personally, in my own experience, I think I've realized how much genetics influences skin sagginess, because when I look at my dad, I can see that my skin, even though I'm 25 years younger, is starting to age in a similar pattern as his. I can see the sagginess happening in exactly the same places, and my skin overall is very similar to my dad's and my bone structure, and so it's not surprising that I'm aging in the same way that he is. And so for me, I am really feeling the impacts of genetics on my skin. And then when it comes to cellulite, this is definitely something that has a strong genetic component. Almost always when a lady comes in with a lot of cellulite, if I ask her if her mother has the same thing, she will say yes. So it definitely runs in families, unfortunately. It has a lot to do with your body shape and how you store fat, but we'll talk about some things you can do about that later on in this video. So I don't think there's a lot you can do about the genetics and how your skin is aging in terms of the sagginess, but I do think that you can fight against those genetics a little bit when it comes to cellulite. So that's the good news. And then the other thing that you need to think about when it comes to skin sagging is the overall structure of your face. Now, as you age, you lose bone mass and muscle mass from your face, and the fat in your face also shifts. And that can make your face start to sag in certain areas, like your eye sockets. Your eyes lose fat, and so you see more bagginess there. The fat in your cheeks sort of shifts down. And like I said, I'm not an expert in this, but basically everything just starts to go downwards. And that is a major cause of the sagginess and how you look as you get older. And so this is something that I wanted to point out because I think a lot of women go through a lot of pain trying to lose the extra couple of pounds or kilos for this certain level of leanness in their 40s without thinking about the impact of it on their overall face structure. I do think that women who are slightly over their ideal weight rather than under look better. And so as you're aging, I think that's something to really think about. The leaner you get and the more you push for that extreme slimness, what is it doing to your face? Because having some fat, some extra fat can actually be a really good thing for how you look. And just remember that the main thing that people are looking at every day is your face. They're not looking at the little bit of extra fat that you have on your stomach. So you do really have to ask yourself if it's worth being so lean. And then the next thing we need to talk about in terms of the causes of skin laxity and cellulite is the overall natural aging process and the loss of collagen and elastin. And that's something that just happens naturally for so many reasons. You lose collagen because of bad diet, because of sugar, because of pollution, because of too much sun exposure. And what a lot of people don't realize is that cellulite is actually a collagen issue as well. So your fat sits in a matrix of collagen, and as that collagen starts to break down and get weaker, the fat can push up more through the collagen, creating that more dimpled appearance. And so that's why a lot of skinny ladies can still have some cellulite. And so cellulite is not just a fat issue, it has to do with the breakdown and the aging of collagen. So there you have some of the main causes of skin laxity and cellulite as you get older, but what can you do about it? Well, the first thing we're gonna think about is diet. Diet is such a key part of dealing with both aging skin and cellulite. And the first thing you need to think about is having a diet that's really full of antioxidants and colorful foods. In particular, foods high in vitamin A come up a lot for skin health. So you're thinking about things like papayas, mangoes, carrots, anything orange. So pumpkin is also very good. And then lycopene is also very important for your skin. It helps to protect your collagen and repair it. And lycopene is found in things that are red. So we're talking about red bell peppers and tomato. Tomato products are known to be a highly concentrated source of lycopene. So we're talking about things like tomato paste. And then you also want fruits and veggies that are high in vitamin C. Vitamin C is a really key thing for collagen production. And then there are certain polyphenols or antioxidants that do come up when you're looking at overall skin aging. Things like resveratrol, curcumin, cacao. So we're talking chocolate. Chocolate can be a great thing for your skin if it's not high in sugar. And green tea is another really big one that comes up in terms of overall skin aging and skin health and protecting your skin from free radical damage. You also want to make sure you're getting enough vitamin E, so that's found in things like your whole grains and your nuts. And omega-3 fats are extremely important for your skin. And there we're talking mainly fatty fish. You can get some omega-3s from plant sources like flax and walnuts, but your body doesn't utilize them as well. So we're probably talking more of the fatty fish products or taking a fish oil. And then the other thing you need to consider about your diet overall is just making sure that it's lower in sugar, because sugar is really bad for your skin health. And what about collagen supplements? Because I know a lot of you are wondering about them and whether they help or not. And the research is sort of mixed. The whole idea of a collagen supplement is to provide your skin with the building blocks it needs to make collagen. And the collagen supplements are high in the specific amino acids that are used in collagen production. but it's not really clear if your overall protein intake is high enough if you're going to get those amino acids anyway. So it's not really clear if a collagen supplement over and above just eating a really well-balanced diet and making sure you hit your protein intake every day is necessary. So I'm not sure if collagen supplements are worth it, but I do have one that I really like and I do use it most days just purely because I love the taste of it and it's a nice break from the other protein powders that I use. So those are the dietary things that I would recommend if you're worried about your skin and how it's aging, but I would also say the same dietary things apply when it comes to cellulite. With cellulite, I would add that it's quite important that your fiber intake is adequate because fiber is going to help carry out excess estrogen. And sometimes cellulite may be related to having an imbalance of estrogen in your body, so you want to make sure you're also getting enough fiber to help balance your hormones. So let's shift from diet to exercise and what exercise can do for you. Now, when it comes to sagginess of your skin, unfortunately, facial exercises, there's no real evidence that they're going to do much for you. I wish there was because I've looked into them, and if it was worthwhile, I would be doing them myself, but I just haven't seen any research to convince me that they're worth doing. However, exercise, of course, is a huge part of dealing with cellulite. It has to do with not only the general aging process, which we've already talked about, but also poor blood flow and lymphatic flow and just your overall circulation. And that's where exercise can be really helpful. And then of course, there's your overall body fat levels. And so there is so much that exercise can do for you, but it's making sure that you do the right type of exercise. A proper exercise program isn't cardio or high intensity work. I mean, those might be part of your exercise program, but if you really want to get on top of cellulite, you need to be focusing on building muscle and shape to help smooth out those trouble areas. And you need a program that really goes after those areas. When it comes to your legs and your glutes, which is where most women struggle with cellulite, in my experience, you should be hitting those areas multiple times per week as well. I think I get the best results, and my clients probably get the best results if they hit their glutes 3 times a week at minimum. And that would be something like 2 dedicated leg and glute days, and then maybe hitting their glutes again on another couple of days. So for example, they might throw in some band glute work at the end of an arm workout, or in my online programs, we do something called a backside workout, which is basically anything on the backside of your body. So we work a lot on the posture muscles and we work a lot on the glutes on those days. So we do sort of a combo workout. And I think that yields the best results, especially as you get older. And this is just my personal experience, but I think as you get older, the more you can hit those areas, the better results you're going to get. And then the other piece of advice I would give you is that for those of you training at home, you may not be getting the stimulus that you need because you need to be hitting your glutes, especially heavy enough to build muscle, and a lot of ladies don't have the home gym setup that they need to actually get the progression of the weights that they need to build muscle and make some real changes in those areas. So when I do have ladies who are struggling to get on top of cellulite, they can start at home, but eventually I will recommend that they start getting into the gym so that they have access to more things like the machines and cables. There's just so many more variations of exercises you can do at the gym and a lot more ways you can hit the glutes more specifically. So I think that if you are somebody who's trying to get on top of it, that it might be worthwhile considering something like that where you are training in the gym and hitting your glutes at least 3 times per week. And just a little note on cellulite elsewhere in the body. A lot of women experience it on the back of their arms as they get older, and all the same things apply. You need a program that targets your triceps especially, but also your biceps, because some women do experience it on the biceps as well. And you probably need to be having dedicated arm days, just like a traditional bodybuilder would. If all of this seems overwhelming to you, remember I do have online training programs that take care of absolutely everything for you. I'll leave a link to my programs in the description of this video and you can check them out after watching. The final thing I would say is that when it comes to cellulite, you do really need to be in it for the long haul. Cellulite does not change overnight. Even people doing absolutely everything right with good genetics, cellulite is something you need to just continually work at and be on top of. So it's just something that you have to go into with a long-term mindset. And then the other thing that I always tell people is that when it comes to skin sagginess, I mean, there's not a lot you can do about wrinkles and saggy skin and how you look unless you're going to get into the less natural treatments like the fillers and the Botox and stuff. But always remember that you can look significantly younger with a really amazing looking body. So if you work on building some beautiful muscle and just taking care of yourself overall, you're going to look so much more youthful even if you have a few wrinkles. So I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so you catch future videos from me. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you again next time.